Hey y'all, let's do a one pot, quick and easy, delicious, budget friendly dish. Okay, let's get going here. So let me show you what we're going to do. I've got a package of smoked sausage here. I don't know what the ounces is, but it's just, that regular size pack. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And then I'm going to use some of this. Instead of using oil and butter, I really like this because it's butter and canola oil all in one. Now, I don't know if it's healthy or not. I'm sure somebody will let me know. But anyway, that's what I'm going to use just to kind of help these get going, okay? So I'm going to pop this sausage in here. I'm just going to let it saute up for a few minutes. And let me tell y'all real quick while we're waiting on this butter to warm up, when you're cutting sausage like this, kielbasa, bacon especially, if you will pop it in the freezer I've been meaning to tell y'all this, if you'll pop it in the freezer for a little bit, just depending on how big and how much it is or whatever, it will slice up like butter. Okay, it just makes all the difference when you're trying to cut something. Even though my knife is sharp and I can cut through it pretty good, it just it makes it come out. It makes just the cleanest cuts, because whenever it's soft, it'll kind of mush up a little bit and so forth. So tonight, when I popped this in the freezer for just a minute before I sliced it up, I thought I've got to remember to tell them this because I don't think I have ever mentioned it, which a lot of you probably already know. But remember, there are cooks out there that don't know everything, okay? Or not everything, but certain things. I don't think none of us know everything, that's for sure. I learn something new every day. Anyway, y'all, I'm just going to let these cook up for just a second. And as you can see here, I have some other goodies we're going to put in here and some other goodies aside from that. And this will be a delicious one pot, quick and easy dish. Okay, y'all, I've got our sausage brown. Just get it however brown you want. And now going in here in our skillet, I have one stalk of celery, which is optional. I'll tell you more about that in a minute. Some onion and just a bunch of different colors of bell pepper. And if you'll notice, for this dish, I like for the peppers and the onions to be in bigger pieces. You can do it smaller if you want. Now, I do the celery a little bit smaller. But I like for the other veggies to be a little bit chunky. Now, if you don't, you can dice yours up smaller. And the celery, you can either leave it out, or I feel like it's a good way to add in just a little bit more nutrition. If if your kids are picky, if you chomp it up real small with this dish, it'll just kind of go in with everything and they will never even know it's there. You know what I mean? So that's just a good thing to do that I used to do with my boys, especially Braden. Kanan, he didn't mind celery. He didn't eat it raw, but he would eat it cooked. So anyway, I'm just going to let these saute around for just a second. I'm going to get this kind of wiped up, and then I'll have you up here close so we can do the other stuff. And if you're wondering, my hair, I got me a bath, and I put a treatment on my hair. If you want to wear blonde hair and you get that hair coloring all the time, you've got to take care of it because it will not take care of itself. So that's why it looks just slick back and all that. And what I do, I'll just leave it on there since I put it on late and wear it overnight. Sometimes I put it on early morning, wash it out late in the evening, or I put it on at night and wash it out the next morning. Either way, it just works. So just a good tip for you if you get your hair done and stuff a lot, just find you some kind of good treatment, whatever kind of needs that your hair has, and pop it on there, pull it up like this, and then wear it to bed. The next day, change your pillowcase or wash it, and you're good to go. Wash your hair out, and then you got good fresh hair and a good new pillowcase too, because it will get on. Of course, it's going to get on there, and then you don't want to get that oil and stuff all back in your hair the nights after. Of course, I know y'all know that. Anyway, I'm going to let these cook for a second, and I'll be back. Okay, y'all, I have probably sauteed these for maybe about 5 minutes. I'm going to push these aside. And I meant to told you too, you can use just one color of bell pepper. This is basically one bell pepper. I just cut off a piece of all 3 of them because I had them. But now I don't always have all these colors, so you can definitely do just one bell pepper. That's all you need. All right, on the side over here, I'm gonna put in a little bit more of our butter and oil. And to that, I am going to add 2 cups of jasmine long grain rice. I'll show it to you in just a second. I'll show you the kind I use. Now, if you want to take your peppers out and do this, you can. You can just pour them in the bowl with your sausage. But I decided to just go with it like this because we really just need to fry it up just a little bit, okay? So we may need to add a little bit more butter. But, you know, if you fry it up like this, it does give it a really good texture, okay? Now, you don't have to do this route, but I prefer to. Yeah, then you get it all over in there and this and that. But anyway, I love this kind of rice right here. I've got it all taped down because I'm going to store this back up, but I kept it out so I could show y'all. I know it's kind of got a glare on it, but anyway, it's just jasmine long grain rice. You can use any kind of rice you want, minute rice, long grain, whatever. Just cook it according to the instructions on the packet. This here being a long grain rice, I have 2 cups, and then it calls for 3 cups of water or broth or whatever. I'm going to do broth, all right? And then if you want to fry it up in some butter like this, or a little bit of oil and butter, and rinse it. I always rinse mine, okay? So I know I've showed y'all how to do the rice, but I just want to let you know for anybody that didn't see that. But anyway, I'm just going to let this fry up for just a second, and I'll come back and we're going to get our other stuff going. Okay, y'all, I just wait until my rice starts showing a few little brown pieces on it. I don't know if y'all can see it on here, but some of it is getting a little bit brown. Now my skillet's getting a little too hot. Now I'm just going to mix all of this together, but this is how you want it to do. I really love for that rice to fry up really good. You'll be able to smell it. It gives it a good nutty flavor. If you ever smelled it, you know what I'm talking about. Okay. Now I'm going to toss in a little bit of garlic. You just do not want to put your garlic in until you get all of this sauteed up, okay? Because you don't want that garlic cooking like that for that long without any liquid or anything. It'll burn. So then just toss that garlic around in there. I just did a little butter teaspoonful. I'll tell you what, I'm going to do this a little bit more actually. Just a good heaping teaspoon. Let's just say that. All right. Smells delicious. Now, I have some tomato paste here. Of course, you know, if you don't have these, you can just use the little can. I'm going to do about a good tablespoon. But these are perfect to have for whenever you just need a little bit. Or, you know, like we've talked about before, you can always put your leftover from the can in the freezer. That's about a good tablespoon. Let me move you on up here so you can see this. This is a beautiful dish with all these colors. Anyway, just mix that tomato paste around. This could easily be a $10 dish, y'all. Of course, if you're buying a whole lot of peppers and this and that, it may not be. But like I said, I just happen to have them. If I didn't, I would never just buy all these for one dish. Y'all know that. I'm pretty strict about stuff when it comes to my spending. But you just need your sausage, some rice, an onion, 1 whole bell pepper, whether it's a few pieces of different colors or all of one. Did I say sausage? I get sidetracked, y'all. Anyway, you can see it's not an expensive dish. I'm just trying to get that tomato sauce all mixed in, okay? Or tomato paste. Now I'm going to do 1 can of Rotel. This is optional. You can leave this out, liquid and all. Woo. Okay. Now remember we have those 3 cups of chicken. I'm doing chicken broth. All right, you can do whatever flavor you want. That chicken broth I feel like is the best for this dish. Okay, I couldn't fit it all in there, so I have just a little bit left over here. And like I said, it calls for 3 cups if you're doing 2 cups of rice. I did just a slight bit less because of the liquid in the rotel. Okay, so just keep that in mind, that does have a little bit of liquid in there. Now we got all that in there. Now we're going to do a pack of our sazon. Is that what it's called? Sazon? Y'all know that I've showed you before. Let me hold it up here again just in case anybody new on here. We're going to sprinkle that in. Okay. And I believe for right now, that's it. I'm not going to add any other seasonings at this point because of that has so many seasons. I think I will do a little bit of black pepper. I'm going to pop the lid on this, let this slow cook maybe 15 minutes or so. Let that rice start getting good and done. And we'll come back. I don't want to put my sausage in there yet because I feel like it just kind of boils and cooks a lot of the flavor out of it. You know what I'm talking about. And it kind of ends up like boiled meat instead of a good sauteed sausage, if that makes sense. Okay, so anyway, this looks good, smells delicious, y'all, especially for such an easy, quick meal. I'm gonna pop the lid on it, turn it way down on low, and I'll be back. Hey y'all, let me show you our dish here, our rice, real quick. I hadn't touched it. Look at that. How does that look? Doesn't that not look beautiful? I love the look of it. Okay, I have turned it off. I cooked it 15 minutes, just low on a good little simmer, 15 minutes with the lid on. No, I don't mix it. I don't do anything. I don't touch it. And after the 15 minutes, I move it off the heat back here, and I'm going to let it just sit for just a few minutes, and then we will toss our sausage back in and it will be ready to go. And over here I have just some asparagus that I have sauteed up a little bit. It about got a little too brown on me. I'm still trying to get used to this stove, y'all. But anyway, if I'm cooking asparagus in a skillet, I always like to cut it just because it's easier. I can take my little tongs and just toss it around and sear it up real quick. Now if I do it in the oven, I will leave them whole. So just however you want to do that. And all I did to these was put in a little bit of butter and oil, and used my seasoning, the blend. That's all you need, nothing else, and they are delicious. Okay, y'all, I've let this sit here for maybe about 10 minutes. Now we are going to give it a mix and see what we've got. First thing I'm going to do is get a fork, because I like to fluff it just a little bit. Even though it's in my skillet here, I'm going to just try to not scrape the bottom. Let me get you up here a little bit closer so you can see how good this fluffs up. I like to take a fork like this and just kind of go around. Just don't scrape your bottom of your pan, of course. And do it just like this to kind of fluff it up as much as you can. And now remember, let me tell y'all this while we're getting it all mixed up. You can add any vegetable you want to this. You can leave any vegetable out that you want for this. This is just a personal preference for all of this. You don't want to add the tomatoes, don't want peppers, don't. This, you could definitely make this just rice and smoked sausage if you wanted to, and it would be delicious like that. Okay? All right. Looks really good. I'm going to toss our sausage back in. Looks like they're still hot too. So really all we got to do is just toss them around in here and that good hot rice. I mean, I didn't taste the rice or anything. I'm just thinking it's just going to be just fine. I don't think it needs anything else. It looks and smells delicious. If it does, we can add it once we get it on our plate, you know. One other thing I want to add to it, though, once I get all that mixed in. I know y'all are saying get the bigger spoon, but all right. I'm just trying to get all that sausage in there really good. Y'all know I'm a stirring fool. I always stir everything like crazy. All right, I've got 2 green onions here. And what I'm gonna do is cut them in half and then do it like this so we can get them in there. The red, or the green and the white. I don't know, we may not use all these. Let's see here. Should already had these cut up. We wouldn't have to fool with it. Just put them all over. Okay. Some parsley. All right, y'all. And it is good to go. Isn't this a beautiful looking dish? I love this. And you can see it makes a ton. You'll have leftovers. It's perfect. Now let's plate some up. Even though I've got my asparagus, I'm still going to use my little one pot little dish here. I'll just squeeze it in there. Okay. Get some more of that sausage. A little bit more of that rice. All right, and I'm just going to stick some of this asparagus down here on the end. On top, it will be just fine, just like that. Make sure I got everything off. Looky here, y'all. Let me get my fork. And get me a napkin. And we are ready to try it. I hadn't made this in a long time. I don't think I've ever made this dish on here. If I have, it had to have been a long time ago because I don't remember the last time I made it. Try the asparagus. Perfect. They had these at my little grocery yesterday, or maybe the day before I grabbed these. Anyway, they look so good I had to have them. Let's try our rice and sausage. Yeah, I'm just now looking at that. That makes a ton. You can definitely cut it back. You know, I did 1 cup of rice. You can or 2 cups of rice. You can definitely cut it back to 1 cup. That's what I meant to say. Let's try that rice just without the sausage. That way I can see exactly how it's flavored up. Adding the tomatoes in just really makes it taste like a Spanish rice. I think I've done it different ways, but I can't remember. But I'm thinking you leave those out, you're not going to have as much of that Spanish style rice flavor, which I like it. That's what I was going for. And the sazon. If you want to add some other kind of flavor into it, you can. If you don't have the sazon and want to do like this type of flavor, you could just do some onion powder, garlic powder, salt, pepper, paprika, oregano. You know, I know y'all are thinking, we're never going to remember this. I understand. It's delicious. And I said, if you don't want the Spanish style flavor, make it whatever flavor you want it to be. Anyway, it's delicious, it's inexpensive, it's quick, it's easy, and you'll love it. All right, I'll see y'all next time. Bye-bye.